Some students are still shocked to hear that people of color experience racism on a daily basis here in Madison. I get faces of like complete surprise, like I didn't know that still existed.
Just being a minority at a predominantly white institution like Wisconsin, I feel like, there's obviously a little something there. We talk about diversity a lot. For a school like Wisconsin, being in a location like Wisconsin is a diverse school, but it's not an integrated school at all, I feel, and I feel like that's where the problem really is.
A lot of people just don't care. They don't want to talk about it. If you bring up race, it's like, I don't want to talk about this.
It gets frustrating because they continue to just like step back and feel like it's not their problem, and I'm just like, we keep being told that we are the future and like we can make a difference, but we can't make a difference if we don't educate ourselves.
So it's when someone's open to it and someone's willing to learn about it and willing to listen to what you have to say, I think that that's showing respect towards the issue.
I think when you choose to listen to someone, you end up validating their words and their feelings, and even if you disagree with an opinion they might have, even if you don't understand something, I think there is power in listening to someone, realizing and acknowledging that they do feel pain, and that you can't just brush it away and be like, no, that didn't happen.
I think, at least for people of color that I know, it gets very difficult. You don't really want to talk or share or like give your experiences because you know where it's going to go. Oh, that couldn't have really happened. That's not true. That wasn't really racist. You're being too sensitive.
Instead of brushing those topics away, actually listening, and through listening, I think it helps to validate those ideas, and people feel that their words have meaning and that you are respecting them and you actually believe what they're saying.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
It also was really apparent when the protests towards the end of the semester happened, which I was involved in both of them, and just the response that the campus had. People thought we were protesting for New York and for Missouri, and we were, but for the most part, it was really what was going on campus.
When I first came here, I went to SOAR, which every student goes to, and the minute I walked in, the advisor said, "You will not succeed. You're not going to make it here." The minute she opened up my file and saw what school I was transferring from and my GPA, she was like, "Oh, well, I guess you'll make it here after all."
Just little tiny comments that people make. It's things people say about hair, it's things people say about stereotypes that they think are true.
No, they're not covered in white sheets or burning crosses, but I mean, it's racist. One of the things I always get is, "Oh, you speak so well. Oh, you're Tiffany? I spoke to you on the phone. I wasn't expecting you to look that way." I think also just like even when I go into stores in Madison and being profiled and like asked to like give my bag at the door, but other like white patrons in the store are not asked to give their bags at the door. So assuming that I'm gonna steal because of my skin color.
It is a microaggression in the sense that I think for a lot of people it is something that it's subconscious that they don't realize. And there's a need to acknowledge those and figure out how you're going to deal with them because it is so internalized.
Being a school as big as ours, 40,000, it's only so much that the university can do. You're not going to be able to change everything. It starts with the students.
I think that anyone who wants to talk about it, like no matter what race you are, I am completely open to talking about it. I like talking to people that do understand because you can have a productive conversation, but at the same time it's the people that don't understand that you really need to have these conversations with, and that's what I think is harder to do on this campus.
Conversations I think honestly need to be had within the white community on campus in the sense of you shouldn't only be talking about race when you're in your ethnic studies class.
I think it's important for people to take time to educate themselves on being a minority and what it's like on this campus specifically, because this is where you are.
Yeah, I think people are really surprised when you decide to actually educate yourself, when you decide to read books, watch documentaries, read articles, gain perspective. I think many times they feel as though they're the teachers, they're expected to teach everyone about their identity and their culture. It's an important step in really maintaining strong friendships across cultures and identities.
It'll improve your perspective on the world in general and also ways that you can be a better student on this campus.